Let's start with Sam Caniglio.
Hey, Coach. Tough series out there. How do you feel your team battled this weekend?
Did well. I don't think it's ever a question of effort, battling. Today's game got away just because we didn't handle the ball. And we've actually lost 3 games to Coastal Carolina, and there was all a bunt meltdown at some point. And so today, I don't know if they counted it as an error or not, but we had a 4-1 lead, and they had runners on first and second, and kind of made a mistake on a bunt play and didn't get an out and threw the ball away, and that really hurt us. We had a lot of momentum going on in a 4-1 lead, but I told the team, we went 3-2 on the week and kind of stole a game on Saturday, and we gave away a game today. So probably ended up exactly where we were supposed to be with 1-2 against those guys. We appear to have a lot of talent on our team. We were healthy today for the first time. We had some limitations on pitch count, but we were healthy as a team for the first time, and pretty exciting just to see the arms and the players and what the lineup might look like moving forward.
Next up is Matt Thornsberry.
Hey, Coach, I know it's pretty tough to bring some positives out of this, but nonetheless, I mean, you guys were fighting. And can you just talk about, Doan's finally getting inserted in there and the way that things transpired with his bat and everything, and then him coming through and getting some plays that he did. Can you just talk about his performance?
Yeah, for me, not hard to find positives in the weekend, just because it's our second series back after being shut down for a long time, and then trickling in players over the last 2.5 weeks slowly. But Doans is a very important piece of our team. We've been playing for a considerable amount of time with 2 true freshmen up the middle and a COVID freshman in center field, and sometimes starting a true freshman at catcher. So you're only as strong as the middle of the field in baseball, and we've been extremely young. So to add a 4th-year player at second base who's not only talented but has tons of experience and Big 12 experience, it is monumental, to say the least, of what he can bring to our team long term.
Next, we'll go back to Sam.
Coach, is it tough getting guys like trickling back into the lineup, and is it going to be kind of tough to get into a rhythm with the Big 12 on the horizon?
I don't think so. Guys have gotten at bats and they've gotten going, and I think everybody comes back at different paces. So some guys can jump right back into a game and be really good. Tyler Doan's first at bat, first pitch, hit and run for a double. It was pretty amazing to see. Other guys take a little bit more time. Some of it might have to do with the virus. I don't actually know that, but I've heard a lot about it in basketball. Just some teams that were really struck hard by COVID. Sometimes players are a little bit sluggish. Sometimes guys come back a little bit slower. So I don't think necessarily it's going to be any harder than what it's been. I think it's going to be a lot easier because we have a lot of our starting players back in the lineup. And so I just think the confidence and the momentum, all that stuff is tied to playing some of your best players out there on a regular basis. So excited about where we're at, excited about to write a lineup with guys that we expected to be in there in the start of the year. And we need to figure out our starting pitching for the week coming up, exactly what we're going to do and who's going to be in those roles. Adam Tulloch today was a little bit rusty coming back. He had been shut down with COVID protocol for a long time. Unfortunately, today he was on a pitch count. And so that was doctors and trainers' orders, but he had 7 strikeouts through 3 innings and had given up 1 run. And that was self-inflicted wounds with some walks to start some innings. But he's a guy that has special stuff and really wants to compete. And so after a series where on Saturday we had a starter go 1.1 innings, to have a Sunday starter that's on a pitch count, eventually it's probably going to catch up to you bullpen wise. And so would really like it's really looking forward to having Adam Tolick full health, no pitch count. Let's go win a ball game.
Okay, we'll go Sam and then Matt.
Coach, Marshall coming up. That was just added to the schedule recently. And you said, obviously you're still kind of figuring some stuff out for that game. What are you looking forward to for Tuesday's matchup?
I'm looking forward to Tyler Stretche getting the ball. He is a guy that has starting experience under his belt. He's fresh. He's had one outing since the shutdown, and so he's gotten his feet wet again. And so time to get going, and hopefully by the time next week, we're no longer talking about shutdowns and players missing and trickling in and all the things that nobody wants to talk about, mainly myself. And so really excited about Stretche getting going and setting the tone and throwing strikes and getting, leadoff hitters out. That's what I think everybody needs, and we're looking for a little stability on the starting pitching side.
And go ahead, Matt.
Coach, obviously Coastal Carolina is no slouch of a team. And you talk about your guys, you're having young guys and you got some bumps in the road, but can you just talk about where your guys are at right now, almost coming away with a series against Coastal Carolina?
Yeah, there's a lot of positives. After a loss, sometimes the kids have trouble seeing that. So it's our job as a staff to make sure that they understand what just happened. Jake Waters, he threw twice in a weekend for the first time in his career. He has some of the best stuff in the country. He will learn how to command his fastball a little bit better over time, but you have to continue to throw guys out there. Ben Abernathy, he had his longest outing of his college career and was excellent. Tim Wynja just had his longest outing of his college career, was excellent, made big pitches and got big outs. Madison Jeffrey, he got a save. He needs to be our closer. He needs to be really, really good. Mikey Kluska had another unbelievable series. He's a true freshman from the state. That's kind of put the team on his back. There's been lots of positives happen. Carlson Reed, if you watched him pitch earlier in this week, he's emerged as somebody that could be a premium pitcher in the Big 12. Great stuff across the board. Paul McIntosh caught 3 games in a row. He proved that he could do that. He hasn't done that a ton. And we had Braden Berry got 2 consecutive games in a row. He appears to be a really, really good player. Matt McCormick struggled with the bat a little bit, and he's one of our better hitters. We need to get him going. But positives all across the board. Lots of really good things happening. Coastal Carolina is a very good opponent. They have solid starting pitching. They have some bullpen arms that are comparable to what we'll see in our league. And offensively, they're probably one of the better teams. They have a lot of good offensive players. So our pitchers got to go heads up with a great offensive team. They had success, they had failure. And at this point in the season for us, it's really about experience. It's about getting guys on the mound. If you compare teams, it's just interesting because they have a few pitchers that they really trust. And Coastal Carolina goes back to the well. But those guys have a lot of experience, so they last a little bit longer. They make less mistakes. They command the fastball a little bit better. We have a whole lot of pitchers with really great stuff. And then one thing that they're missing is being thrown in the fire and the experience and the big moment and handling some of those things. So this was probably the biggest weekend for that. You had Short with multiple outings, Wynja with multiple outings, Waters with multiple outings, Ottinger with multiple outings. So it was the first time this year where it's like the bullpen really got involved. And so moving forward, you hope that things really slow down for them. And we had some success in the bullpen. We had some failures. And so lots of positives to take for sure.